Hare Rama Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Rama 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 Ram Bole
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 Ram Bole Ram Bole
Ram Bole Ram Bole
Ram Bole Ram Bole
Ram Bole Ram Bole
Rama 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 Ram Bole
Rama Rama Sukha Rama 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 Dukha Rama
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 Rama Rama Rama Rama Ram Bole
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 Ram Bole Sham Bole
Ram Bole Sham Bole
Ram Bole Sham Bole
Ram Bole Sham Bole
Rama 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 Ram 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 Bole
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Taking flowers in our hands, propitiate worship to Bhagwan Vishnu once more. And so bowing our heads mentally at the lotus-like feet of Bhagwan Vishnu, may you accept our worship, O Bhagwan Vishnu, we beg of you. Hari Om Sri Ganesha Namah Sri Saraswate Namah Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Govinda Namo Namah Shuklam Varadram Deva Shashivarnam Chaturbhuja Prasanna Varanam Dhyayet Sarva Viganopashantaye. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Mirila Niki Jai. Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudatvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksha Mangalaya Tanu Hari. Snan Om Snanam Snanam Samarpayami. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pato Danurdana Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutarudravani Tirmatra Mama. Om Gita Ganga Jagatri Sita Satya Saraswati Brahma Vidya Brahma Bani Tri Sandhya Muktageni Aritamatra Chirananda Bhavagani Benashini Vedatrey Parananda Tatvartagyan Manjani Durasnanam Samarpyami. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते 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 वासुदेवाय
We offer clothing to Bhagwan. To you who have blessed us with the gift of clothing, we offer clothing in our worship. Be pleased with us. Om Vasradanam Upavasram Samarpayami. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
We offer the Janev Priyagyopavi. Om Tadeva Laganam Surinam Tadeva Tarabalam Chandrabalam Tadeva Vidyabalam Devabalam Tadeva Lakshmi Pate Grugam Smarami. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chandam perfume. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Chandanam Samarpayami. Om Gandam Samarpayami. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Palimaladravyanama Haridradanam Samarpayami. Sinduradanam Samarpayami. Purify our existence in this world, O Bhagwan. Grant unto our souls at that time when that may come salvation, we beg of thee. Listen to our prayer. Listen to our prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
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 We offer strands of dukkha's, root of your troubles or problems or distresses as we rooted this grass to pray to you. Bless us with longevity, we beg of you. Listen to our prayer. We offer the name leaves and the veil release. Through these leaves, we offer our lives at your feet. We offer all our sickness, all our situations, all our problems at your feet. May you ever be in control, we beg of you. Listen to our prayer. Listen to our petition. Accept our oblation. We bow to you again and again. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
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 ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
दुर्वदानं समर्पयामि, बेलपत्रं समर्पयामि, नीमपत्रं समर्पयामि. We offer flowers, we offer mala. May you be pleased with us. Mallityarini sugandhini mallityarini ve Prabhu. Mayatani pujatam pushpani pratigretam. Symbolic of all love. We offer these beautiful flowers at your feet. Be pleased with us. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
विवेद्यार्थी यानि कानि च पापानि जमन्तर्गतानि च तानि तानि प्रक्षणा प्रक्षणा प्रदे प्रदे दीपं दर्शयामि दीपं समर्पयामि दीपदानं प्रतिगृहीताम्. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We offer flowers around, oh dear. We chant the beautiful mantra to the mother goddess, the goddess of light, the goddess of wealth, the goddess of prosperity. Siddhi buddhi prade devi, bhukti mukti pradayani, mantra murti sada devi, mahalakshmi namostute. Lakshmi divye namaha. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Naivedyam. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya.
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 भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम. हे दुनिया हे प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम.
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम. ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम.
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम. हे दुनिया हे प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम.
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम. ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम.
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ.
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ.
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ.
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ.
ओम ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्मावे ब्रह्मगणो ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मागतेन गन्ताव्यं ब्रह्मकर्मा समाधिना. नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि नैवेद्यं प्रतिगृहीताम्. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ब्रह्मर्पणं ममस्तु कृष्णार्पणम्. चारियो मेरा प्रभु भयो उदासी, अकिया हरि दर्शन की प्यासी.
चारियो मेरा प्रभु भयो उदासी, अखियाँ हरि दर्शन की प्यासी.
आके प्यास मिटाओ अब आओ प्रभु जी मेरे आओ भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ,
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ।
We offer supari, we offer glow, praying for longevity, praying for good health. O Paramatma, listen to our prayer. Tambulam samarpyami, lavam samarpyami. भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
आचमन। ओम गंगा जलम समर्पयामि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। बिनती तेरा प्रभु कोई न जाने,
बिनती तेरा प्रभु कोई न जाने।
प्रभु तुझे प्रभु कोई न जाने,
प्रभु तुझे प्रभु कोई न जाने।
आओ दलिया बजाओ अब आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ। भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
दक्षिणा दानम समर्पयामि। You are blessed us with wealth. We have a wealth in our worship. Be pleased with us. भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ,
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ।
We decorate the altar as beautiful as we can. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंद भजले गोविंदम। ये दुनिया है प्रभु की माया भजले गोविंदम।
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ,
प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ, प्रभु जी मेरे आओ।
We join in expressions of welcome this evening.
Sitaram, a warm and cordial welcome to each and every one of you tonight. Thank you for joining us for the 9th night of Bhagwat Katha. Bhagwat Saptaha Katha, sorry, forgive. I hope you continue to learn from our beloved Guru, Pandit Sunil Seetahal-Maharaj, and thank you for coming. Sitaram.
He's saying the 9th night, but it's the 9th session. But it's just like, so he doesn't know, he didn't know that I was going to call him. And so I just called him out of, I want you to give him a round of applause, a real round of applause. It is the only way that we can get the children of the group brave, outspoken. At this time, let us all stand as we join in the opening arti. दीप ज्योतिर पर ब्रह्मा दीप ज्योतिर जनाधर दीपो हरत मे पापं दीपोऽयं प्रतिग्रहीताम् शुभं करोतु कल्याणं आरोग्यं सुखसम्परं मम शत्रुविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलं गयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् करारविन्देन परारविन्दं मुखारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वत्रस्य पत्रस्य पूतेशानं बालं कुण्डं मनतः स्मरामि। भागवत आरती। जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय जय भागवतम भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय भागवतम भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये अमर गंतये मुक्ति पंतये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
हरि ज्ञान ही वरदान ही
वरदान यही वरदान यही
जग की मंगल की आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय जय भागवतम भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये शांति दीप पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
ये सुख करनी ये दुख हरनी
ये सुख करनी ये दुख हरनी
ये मधुसूदन की आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय जय भागवतम भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये मधुर बोल जगपंत कोल सनमाद दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला
ये मधुर बोल जगपंत खोल सन्मान दिखाने वाला बिगड़े को बनाने
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
सबकी महिमा की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम,
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम,
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम।
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल,
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल,
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल,
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल,
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल,
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदु नंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल,
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल,
हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
आनंद नंद गोपाल,
आनंद नंद गोपाल,
आनंद नंद गोपाल,
आनंद नंद गोपाल,
आनंद नंद गोपाल।
आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे शांति दीप पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला,
हे शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
हे सुख करने हे दुख हरने,
हे सुख करने, दुख हरने।
हे मधुसूदन की आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती।
पापियों को पाप से है तारती।
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम,
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम।
वृंदावन व्यालीलाल की जय। Simple blessing for the soul, please be seated. Wherever you are, locally, regionally, or even internationally, even those of you who are here, we say a special welcome to you. To our kind and no corporate sponsors that would have made our broadcast possible, we express sentiments of gratitude and expressions of thanks. To our Brahman Devatas who have graced the Yagna, we pay obeisance to your feet as well. And so this evening, as we prepare our minds and our souls to listen to the Katha, we bow our heads in prayer as we chant mantras of invocation. Hari Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. हरि ओम ऐं सरस्वते नमः। हरि ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वर्णानामर्थसङ्गानां रसानां चन्द्रसामपि मङ्गलानां च करितारो वन्दे वाणी विनायको। भवानी शङ्करो वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वास्वरूपिणो। याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धस्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। भागवत सुमिरन। रिद्धि सिद्धि दाता सिद्ध शरण्य वारण्य वरेना। सुमिरो बारंबार मदन करने की लाले को। गणपति कृपा निदान ज्ञानी कानी आनंद भवना। देहु मोहि वरदान वरनो भाषा भाग्यवता। जय शिव आनंद कंद भूतनाथ भवे हरिणा। भक्ति विषय निर्द्वान गौरवरन मंगल करना। हे ब्रज चंद्र मुकुंद ब्रजभूषण दूषण हरिणा। कठो भाव बेपन चरण शरणनी आनि करा। जय 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 जगदीश श्वेत शेष महेश यजा। महिमा मितय वीर वीर जानत नहीं। देहु मोहि वरदान राधा वरया वर सदा। प्रेम प्रेम से नित चित्त में कटे कटे रहे। मोहि चाहिए कचुना और वास्तु प्रभु जगत की। बस ही रे मन मान या भागी जानकी सदा। नील कुटिया कायन की पीछे फिरता। ग्वाली पाली निसा मोर मुकुट सिर परे डरे। कर मुरली उदमान शेष मुकुट के पीठ पटा। या चबिसो नंदला बसहु हृदय मम ऋषि दिया। गुरु पर रज दर्शी करहु भागवत की कथा। जो सुकरेव मुनि कई परीक्षित निरपति सो। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज।
निज मन मुकुर सुधार।
बरनो रघुबर विमन यश।
जोधायक फलदार।
बोधहीन तनु जानिके।
सुमिरो पवन कुमार।
बलभूत विद्या देहु मोहि।
हरहु कलेश विकार।
वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र जी Ki Jai Sharanam. Let us join in the kirtan, let us clap our hands, let us sing. Let us make a joyful noise unto Bhagwan. Kirtan is the act of awakening ourselves spiritually to listen to the Katha. And so when we join in the kirtan, when you clap, you expel your pap, you expel your sins. And so, if you refuse to clap, you act as though you're a dry sponge absorbing water. You absorb the sins of those who are clapping and singing. We want to leave here feeling free and light and divine and God realized. So this evening, let us clap our hands as we make a joyful noise unto Bhagwan. Bira Hanumana Ati Balevana Ram Ram Rasiyare He Prabhu Man Basiyare.
Bira Hanumana Ati Balevana Ram Ram Rasiyare He Prabhu Man Basiyare.
Bira Hanumana Ati Balevana Ram Ram Rasiyare He Prabhu Man Basiyare. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की.
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 वीरा हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम राम रसिया रे हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे.
वीरा हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम राम रसिया रे हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे.
वीरा हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम राम रसिया रे हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे.
वीरा हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम राम रसिया रे हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे.
बजरंगा बनियो बजरंगा बनी.
बजरंगा बलियो बजरंगा बली.
बजरंगा बनियो बजरंगा बनी.
बजरंगा बलियो बजरंगा बली.
महावीर बली महावीर बली.
महावीर बली महावीर बली.
महावीर बली महावीर बली.
महावीर बली महावीर बली.
बजरंगा बनियो बजरंगा बनी.
बजरंगा बलियो बजरंगा बली.
बजरंगा बनियो बजरंगा बली.
बजरंगा बलियो बजरंगा बली.
महावीर बली महावीर बली.
महावीर
बाल पुत्रनवान की बाल पुत्रनवान की बाल पुत्रनवान की.
महावीर बली महावीर बली. बली महावीर बली महावीर बली महावीर बली.
वीरा हनुमान अति बल. वीरा हनु रघुपति राघव राजा राम पति. रघुपति राघव रघुपति राघव रघुपति राघव. वीरा हनु अति बल राम राम हे वीरा हनु अति बल राम राम हे बजरंगा बनियो बजरंगा बनियो बजरंगा बजरंगा बली, ओ बजरंगा बली। महावीर बली, महावीर बली, Sing with me, everybody. महावीर बली, महावीर बली, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन कर्म वचन ध्यान जो लावे। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाय। जो शतवार पाठ करोई, जूते वंदे मासु करोई। ओम निश्चय प्रेम प्रदीप दे, विनय करे सन्मान। तेके कार्य सकल सुख सिद्धि करे हनुमान। ओम अंजनी सुताय विद्महे, वायु पुत्राय धीमहि, तन्नो हनुमान प्रचोदयात्। तन्नो मारुति प्रचोदयात्, तन्नो हनुमान प्रचोदयात्। महावीर बली, महावीर बली। Let us sing together. बोलो श्री सीताराम, 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 जय सियावर राम। बोलो
सीताराम, 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 जय सियावर राम।
बोलो राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय सियावर राम।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय सियावर राम।
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्य वरदे कामरूपिणी, विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे शरणं। नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि, तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री सुखदेव उवाच, जिसमें पहले श्री राजा परीक्षित की आसन बैठे, एक और भक्ति भाव विनती करने वाले, एक और की कथा सुंदर करने वाले, जिसमें महान युद्ध का वाशों का देने करने वाले, संचित का देवता हो नाश करने वाले, देख और अश्ववाद की मिलन देहु, देख और घोड़े का सिर तथा होते, घोड़े का सिर तथा करने वाले, भगवान विष्णु की युद्ध करने वाले, जिसमें का विश्वराम देवा निवास होते हैं, पर का चलते गया होते, परता चलते गया होते हैं। बोलो सीताराम, 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 जय सियावर राम। बोलो
सीताराम, 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 जय सियावर राम।
बोलो राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय सियावर राम।
राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, जय सियावर राम।
Sukhdev Muni, he begins to tell a beautiful katha to Raja Parikshit. And why is he telling the katha to Raja Parikshit? Because Raja Parikshit has 7 days to live, and Raja Parikshit has chosen to spend his 7 final days of existence in listening, bathing, basking, purifying himself by listening to the katha that will come out of the Bhagwat Mahapurana. And so Raja Parikshit seated there in this holy auspicious place, Sukhdev Uvacha Sundar Bhasha. In beautiful words, Sukhdev Muni begins to tell the katha. And so Sukhdev Muni says that this creature that appeared to be like horse face and human body, this creature was swallowed by Matsya, the fish, the avatar. But while in the stomach of the fish, the creature started to pray. Praying, he did not die. And so praying, he started to beg, oh Bhagwan, set me free, set me free. And so Bhagwan Vishnu, listening to the purity in the prayer and the worship of this being, Bhagwan Vishnu, sent him back out. Where is he? Now that he has not been destroyed and he is given a chance, what will he use his chance to do? When Bhagwan gives us chances, what do we use the chances to do? What do we use our chances to do? Do we use our chances and the opportunity to become better and closer to God and divine and noble and past? Or do we use the opportunities to become worse than we were before? More arrogant, more egoistic, more rude, more disrespectful? What do we use the opportunity to do? Out now, back given another chance, what will happen? He started recruiting other demons. and recruiting other demons, what will happen? He started to impart knowledge. He started to teach them. And what is he teaching them? Listen, it tells us. भगवान विष्णु का युद्ध करने वाले, जिसमें प्रार्थना का ब्रह्मा धारणी, उसके का ब्रह्मा शिवा देने वाले, देखे गोर का सिर करने वाले, गोरे का सिर करने वाले, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. He started recruiting other demons, and so he started to train them how to pray. Only good people pray? Hello? Only good people pray? Prabhu, only good people pray? No? Let me ask Joan. First session she is coming to. Joan, only good people pray? What kind of other people are there besides good people? Mukit Mas, I want to hear what you are saying, but I want to see. What other kind of people are there? Bad people. Who is a bad people? What does a bad people look like? You're pointing me. He started recruiting other demons. And recruiting the other demons, he started to teach them how to pray. Do you know, even when we are praying, sometimes we pray the kind of prayer like demons will pray. Send a lightning, strike him down. Have you ever prayed that? Do something, make him get a flat tire. I used to pray that prayer. That's how I could tell you, you know. Uncle Harry's sister was my teacher in school. She's my standard 1 teacher. Every day I get up in the morning, I have a stomach ache and I'm vomiting, and I take my finger and I vomit to stay home. Because she is very strict. She has a meter rule. You know the meter rule? And she put me right in front of her. When I talk, I get licks. And when I don't talk, I get licks too. And every day I'm praying before I go to school, I hope she get a flat tire. I hope she get a headache. I hope she gets sick. I'm begging you. Do you know she's 80 and she could hear better, she could talk better, she could move better. They say when you pray for people to die, you know what happened to them? What happened to them? I look at her all the time and I say, Miss, you need to bow by my foot and kiss me, you know. And she said, why? I say, it's because I pray for you to die so much times. You're so healthy and alive, you know. And she said, no boy, that's probably true. That's probably true. Because of her demeanor, strict, she means business. I love her anyway. She skipped me from standard 2 and went with me in standard 3. And then she skipped me from standard 4 and sent me in standard 5. And then while I was still peeny weeny, I was going to the secondary school. Because of her. Because of that. Every report book you see, she will write, too talkative, too talkative, too talkative. Has great potential, but too talkative. And I in front of her, I can't even squat. Too talkative, too talkative, too talkative. And now she comes to the Yagna and she's seated here and she's listening to me. Now she's saying, talk more now. Sing more. He begins to teach the demons to pray. And he's programming their minds into teaching them or telling them what they should ask for. When your children pray, what have you taught them to ask for when they're praying? Do you know we pray, some of us we pray very unintelligently. Because the child is writing essay, we want to do a Mother Saraswati Puja. We sing the praises of Mother Saraswati and we say, Ma, help our child to pass for good school. Put up the jhanni and then the praise is done. Child goes to the good school and then the next exam comes. And then you say, well, we want to do a puja again. And then we do the puja and then the child is successful. And then we do our next puja. And every time there is an exam, we do a puja. Hoping for the grace of Mother Saraswati. Yeah? But why when we did the first puja, we didn't pray the intelligent prayer and said to Mother Saraswati, that my child will write many examinations during his or her lifetime. Please guide my child. Mother Saraswati, when life itself will become like an examination, may you help my child to make the right decisions, I'm begging you. Why didn't we pray that prayer? You have to have the exam coming up to be reminded that you have to pray, isn't it? You have to have the trouble and the situation in front of you, then to remember God and Pandit and Jandi and prayers and Persad and Hawan, and then, only then. He recruited them and he started to teach them how to pray, and he programmed in their mind what to ask for. He programmed in their mind who to go to, and so they started to pray to Lord Brahma. But while praying to Lord Brahma, he told them that when Lord Brahma appears in front of them, this is what you should ask for. You should ask for a being who has the head of a horse, to be the only most powerful being, who possesses power just like a Devata. He's a demon, eh? Who possesses the power of a Devata. He will be able to destroy you, or else you will live infinitely. Listen to how intelligent he is. Indirectly, he's training them to pray so that he will reap the fruit out of their hard work. There is a proverb we use in the Ganesh Utsav Foundation. The proverb is, work smart, not. I find you are not saying it. Work smart, not hard. He's smart. He's putting somebody else to do the hard work. And so when Lord Brahma appears in front of them, they begin to ask, heart jod. They put their hands together and they begin to ask Lord Brahma. What are they asking? देखो मनुष्य का रूप सिर्फ गोरे करने वाली, देखो शिवा की ब्रह्मा ने, देखो मानस पुत्र की नारद वचन करने वाली, व्यापस का चल गया होते हे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. O Lord Brahma, bless us with the Varadan that a being who possesses the head of a horse, he will be and he will have the qualities like a Devata. He will be the only being to destroy us. He will be the only being to cause death to us. And so, bless us with this Varadan. But if this being doesn't destroy us, then we will live infinitely. Evamastu, so shall it be. Lord Brahma has blessed them. He has not blessed one, he has blessed more than one. More than one. They begin to create havoc. They begin to create distress. More than one. Have you ever seen something that creates havoc in your mind? I'll give you an example. One day, I do the Yagna, actually the puja, a bandara, a shrad. And so, they place the Seetahal in the car, and they say to me, when you go home, make sure and open this box. Because this box only has selected things. And we brought it from some other country and tra-la-la-la-la. I never open anything. I carry everything and just put it. But because it was introduced with so much of... I took the box out myself. And if you know me, I'm king lazy. Yeah? For me to do that is effort. And I took the box out and I walked up the stairs and I placed it on the cupboard. And as I opened the box, a little rat jumped out. I'm stunned because I'm not expecting this rat in there. I look at the rat, and the rat look at me, and the rat say, catch me if you can. Darted off, and I'm chasing the rat, and the rat running from me, and that little rat prevented me from sleeping for a whole week. Because I'm wondering which part of this house this rat is in. The little rat created a disturbance that had me restless. I'm looking everywhere. Not that if I see it, I will do anything because I'll run. But just knowing that it was there. These demons, they went and they started to create havoc. Imagine you have rat scissors, more than one, and you saw them. What you'll do? How will you react? Would you be comfortable? Would you be comfortable? Long ago when you drank in a jhuta glass, something will come out on your lip. And the old people used to look at you and they say, you know, while you were sleeping, an animal visited you. And so the spider The spider is responsible for that. Have you ever heard that before? You have to be old like me. And then you go and you spray down the whole house with some kind of insecticide. But if you don't go outside, you're dead too. Trying to get rid of the spider so the spider wouldn't create no more havoc. And this time you're drinking a juta glass. And that's why you have that on your lip. They started to create havoc, and creating great havoc, it says all the devatas came together, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. And so they were having a beautiful discussion about these beings, and Lord Brahma was telling about the Varadan, the gift that he gave. And Lord Brahma is saying, I bless that this being will have the power of Lord Vishnu and the head of a horse, and then only that being will be able to destroy these demons. And while Lord Brahma was telling Lord Vishnu, he was holding at that time in his hand the bow. And holding the bow in his hand, Lord Vishnu, listening to the conversation, he placed his head on the bow and Lord Vishnu fell asleep. Ever talking to somebody and then you hear them snoring on the phone? Not in person, on the phone. You ever half asleep and somebody call you and they say, well, here it is now. And you say, well, let me call you tomorrow now, I'm sleeping. And they say, no, I have to tell you now. Listen to this. And you say, well, okay, you talk. And they're talking and they say, you hear me? And you say, huh? Yeah. And they say, you hear what I say? And you say, yeah. Have you ever done that before? Do you know there's some people when they call you, they have zero consideration? None, zero. You say to them, well, I'm in the bathroom. Well, hear this quick now. I hope you don't have a plug in the bathroom and your phone plug one day and you're bathing and you know what happened. You'll never be able to hear anything again in your whole life. Lord Vishnu, he placed his head on the bow, and Lord Vishnu, he dozed away. Sometimes you're so tired that you put your hand on the table and you doze away. Have you ever done that? Sometimes you sit down on the couch and you just doze away. Have you ever done that? Is it only me? My aunt looks at me and she says, you have dropsy. I say, what is dropsy? She says, you drop down everywhere. And so, sleeping there, he did not listen to anything that was being told. He had no clue about what was happening. As the demons started to create havoc, what will happen? Listen, it tells us. Bolo Sri Seetahal-Maharaj, 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 Jai Siyavar-Ram. Bolo.
Seetahal-Maharaj, 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 Jai Siyavar-Ram.
Bolo Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jai Siyavar-Ram.
Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jai Siyavar-Ram.
Shri Paramatmane Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. उसमें समान भगवान विष्णु ब्रह्मा शिवा सभी का देवता करने वाले, उनका भगवान विष्णु का देखो सवार करने वाले, सिर पर का जानते का चलते तथा होते, सभी का देवतों का मिलन हो गया करने, योजन करने वाले, बोलो सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम जय सियावर-राम।
सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम जय सियावर-राम।
Lord Brahma, indicating to Lord Shiva what the Varadan was, a person who possesses the strength and the might of Lord Vishnu, having the head of the horse, will be able to destroy them. Other than that, they will not die. They will be invincible. And so, they have to now find somebody who possessed the strength of Lord Vishnu, but had the head of a horse. How is this possible? Then Lord Vishnu knows about his own strength. Can you know about somebody else's strength? Who is the best person to know about your strength? Hello? Who is the best person to know about your strength? Who is the best person to know about your weakness? Hello? Who is the best person to know about your strength? How strong are you? The only way your strength is awakened in you is when there are situations and problems and challenges, and that's the only way your strength is awakened in you. Then you recognize how powerful you are. I give the example all the time. You tell your husband, help me move this couch now, boy, let me sweep one day. You tell him Monday, you tell him Tuesday, you tell him Wednesday, you tell him Thursday, you tell him Friday, Monday reach again. He ignores you. And then when you see him, and he passing next to you and he by the couch, you lift up the whole couch yourself and you move it. Huh? Because you're angry. So out of your anger, your power is awakened. And you had no clue that you could lift up the bench, huh? Or the chair, or the couch, or whatever it is. But you get vexed, you get mad. And you look at him and you say, good thing I could do things myself. Otherwise, nothing will happen in this house. Sound familiar? Wife, it sounds familiar? I see all the wives shaking their head. Bhagwan Vishnu is fast asleep. And now they need the participation of Lord Vishnu. What will they do? Lord Brahma looks at Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva looks at Lord Brahma, and both of them, they're wondering who should wake him up. Because chances are if they wake him up, he might get up and he will be upset. He'll be angry. Have you ever been given the instruction by the baby's parents, don't wake up the child will wake up cranky. Have you ever heard that before? Have you ever heard that before? Or the wife says, don't go to wake him up now, you know. The father, the husband, don't wake him up now. If you wake him up now, that's trouble. Huh? He will quarrel. You ever get up angry before? Hello? You ever got up angry before? Vexed for no reason at all? One very early morning, Kamala called me. I answered the phone very early in the morning. I say, who dead? She said, nobody dead. She said, but I get up this morning and I'm feeling to slap up somebody. I said, what? And you calling me? That's the energy that she got up in the morning with. The energy that you get up in the morning with determines what kind of day you will have, you know. Do you know that? Do you know this? Some people don't even get up in the morning. They bypass morning. They put morning on pause and they get up lunchtime. They do the breakfast and morning thing lunchtime, and the lunchtime thing dinner time, and time to sleep. They're doing the dinner thing, and then morning, same routine again and again. And then they say, well, you know, she young and he young, and you know they now finish school, so let them do what they want to do. Now, that becomes a lifestyle, you know. You know that? And their whole life they Korean, Japan, everywhere. Because you know why? We allow them to do that. There are children who sleep on a bed and they don't care if you have a sheet or you don't have a sheet. You could sleep on a bed without a sheet. Can you do that? I don't know about you. It could be my bed, it could be your bed, it could be the hospital bed, it could be the dead man bed, it could be anybody's bed. I need my sheet. And it could be how hot or how cold, like covering up from head to toe. You'll swear dead. But even the way you sleep tells a lot about you. Tells about your personality. And so, they needed to awaken Bhagwan Vishnu, but nobody wanted to wake him up because they were afraid of what his reaction will be. I want to wake up some sleeping person and you don't know how to. Ash, you ever had to wake up somebody and you're afraid? Who? Oh, we can't say that. And so, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they now plotted a plan of how they will awaken Lord Vishnu. What they do? Listen, it tells us. Aaj jandiri mein hum insan ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान
आज अंधेरे में
ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान।
आज मेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
आ आ उन्होंने भगवान विष्णु का भक्ति करने वाले, जिसमें का ब्रह्मा और शिवा शंकर के उन्हें देख और ब्रह्मा जी का पेट का प्रकृति रूप करने वाले, देख और पैरा करने वाले, निशार उन्हुन का उसके का समय वामरी का नाम राका है। और फिर उन्होंने वामरी का निशार धनुष का चोर बात करने वाले, चोर बात करने वाले हैं। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान।
आज मेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
Lord Shiva is saying to Lord Brahma that if you wake him up and he gets upset, he'll be angry with you. And Lord Shiva is saying that if he gets up and I wake him up, he'll be angry with me. So let us do something in collaboration together. So he'll be angry with both of us, not just one. He'll be angry with everybody. He'll be angry with both of us together, collectively. And so both of them, they now formulated a plan. Lord Shiva says, whatever you formulate and however you formulate, Lord Brahma, I will support you. And you're the God of creation. Then create something, do something to awaken him. And Lord Brahma quickly placed his mind to work. Mothers, they operate like that. True or not? They go to the kitchen lost. Though there is things in the pantry and in the fridge and everywhere, mother goes into the kitchen lost. She doesn't know what to cook. She has no clue what she's going to cook. But by the time everybody who lives in that home comes to the kitchen, there is hot food. Something has been manifested. True or not? Something has been manifested. Something that will make everybody happy has been manifested in the kitchen. So too, just like mother knows the appropriate dish to cook, to pacify or to satiate the hunger of everybody else, Lord Brahma is thinking about a solution that will be able to satiate the need of waking up Lord Vishnu. And so thinking like this, Lord Brahma created a little worm. A little worm. And he named the worm Vamani. Vamani is the name that he gives to the little worm. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva looking, Lord Shiva says, Brahma, what are you going to do with this little worm? What are you going to use it for? Tell me. And Lord Brahma says, well, this little worm will go to the string of that bow. And this little worm will begin to gnaw and eat the string of the bow. And then the string will burst, the bow will have no support, and the bow will fall. And when the bow falls, Lord Vishnu will get up. He'll be awakened. And so none of us will get the blame. The blame will go to the little worm, Vamani. Vamani, hearing this, Vamani begins to cry. And as he begins to cry, listen to his words. बिरदन का ब्रह्मा और शंकर की वचन देने वाले, पीर का रक्षा रक्षा हो गया, भगवान विष्णु का ज्ञान होते करने वाले, 7 करोड़ का देने का रक्षा करेंगे हैं। उनको का अश्वाद चिंता का को बात करने निर्धन होते हैं, अजनबी का दे सभी का करते हैं, क्रोध का उन्होंने का पूरे सृष्टि अंधकार करने। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान। The worm, conscious and hearing the words of Lord Brahma, the worm begins to tremble. What is the difference with the soul that can be found in the worm and the soul that can be found in you? Hello? What is the difference? What is the difference of the life force in that little animal and the life force in you? Is there a difference? Is there a difference? What is the difference in the life force of the cockroach and you? What is the difference in the life force of the Jack Spaniel and you? What is the difference in the life force of the animal, the dog and you? What is the difference in the life force of the cow and you? What is the difference in the life force of you and the person sitting next to you? What is the difference in the life force in the person who collects the garbage and the doctor that looks after your health in the health institution? What is the difference? You know, very a very long time ago, I sat up on an asana. One very similar to this, a very high asana. And the Yagna Shala was packed. And there was radio, but not television at that time, because this is a long time ago. And just like they're sitting, Chiki will sit on the stage. You know, she got a little old, now she's on a chair. But she will sit on the stage and everybody will sit around, close by. Because in the initial stages, you know, you're afraid, because if you have the people close to you, they give some level of comfort to you, and then, you know, your delivery is better. And then while everybody's praying and we do the opening mantras and everything else, everybody just put their hands together and prayed and did the invocation and everything else. We're doing the kirtan. And after we do the kirtan, I see a huge cockroach. Do you know the big ones? Have you ever seen the big cockroach? A huge cockroach. So I look at the cockroach on the ground and I see it coming in my direction. But in my mind, I'm saying, you know what? I bathe with soap, that cockroach not coming by me. In my mind, I'm trying to give comfort to myself that, you know, it will not come in my direction. And observing the cockroach comes up on the asana. It doesn't climb, it flies up on the asana and it sits next to me. And then all of a sudden, because I fold the dhoti like this, I still do the dhoti like this till today. All of a sudden, I just turn for 1 minute to tell them that, you know, I'm experiencing turbulence on the asana. And then I just turn for 1 minute, and when I turn back, I don't know where the cockroach is. I'm looking, no cockroach. And then all of a sudden I start feeling this thing walking on my foot, my leg, inside of the dhoti. I say, everybody, let's put our hands together. Close your eyes. Now is a good time to pray. Let us pray. And I see me raising up the dhoti and looking everywhere for the cockroach. And then I call her quickly. I say, Chiki, come, I need your help. And she say, what? I say, something crawling in my dhoti. A cockroach, help me. She say, big boy like you, afraid the cockroach. A little cockroach. I say, this is a giant cockroach. This is not little, this is giant. What creates fear in you? The little worm becomes fearful, knowing that if Lord Vishnu becomes upset with him, he too will be in trouble. And so the little worm, he's intelligent. He asks quickly, he says, listen, I've been created for a purpose. I know my purpose. I will fulfill my purpose. But I want to ask you with no apology. Both of you are afraid for your lives, then what will happen to me? Both of you are protecting each other, then who will protect me? What will be my fate? And so when Lord Vishnu gets up and he sees me, then automatically upset with me, then his anger might cause him to destroy me. And then I was now created and I will have to die. Listen to how intelligent the worm is. And Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, both of them together, hearing the words of the little worm, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they speak to the worm. And what will they sing? Shri Paramatmani Namah, Shri Govinda Namo Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Unhone ka shavadya karne wale, chinta ka pet karne wale, tekor ashavad ki manush ke mukti dwar karne, उसके का बिनती का शरीर होते करने वाले, करते का हाथ जोड़ का विष्णुरु का स्मरण करने, विष्णुरु का स्मरण करने, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. They both say, we can't guarantee you that when Lord Vishnu awakens, that he will not destroy you. But what we can guarantee you is that when you die, if you die and he destroys you, your soul will get mukti, salvation. You'll be granted salvation. So don't be worried. Don't be worried. You will still end up being a winner. You will not lose. You will end up being a winner. The little worm, hesitant, knowing that death could come, the little worm followed the instruction. And so he went to the danush. He went to the bow. And going to the bow, he started to eat. He started to gnaw. But as he started to gnaw, have you ever observed about the string on a bow? Have you ever seen how it is pulled? Have you ever seen? Similar to that of the string on a guitar. Have you ever seen how that string is pulled? Anytime the string becomes slack, then no good sound, it will not be of any use. So the string has to be pulled tight. And so because it is pulled tight, then it means that when it is broken, then some kind of force will come and it will spring from the place that it is attached to. Have you ever seen how the guitar string operates when it is burst? Have you ever seen? And so Vamani started to eat, he started to gnaw. And gnawing at the string of the bow, what will happen? The string finally burst. And as the string burst, a loud explosion was heard. And as this loud explosion occurred, all realms could have heard. But something happened. What happened? The entire place was plunged into darkness. Pitch black. The entire place was plunged into darkness. And being plunged into darkness, everybody became frightened. Now they're wondering what has happened because they cannot see. Something ever happened to you in the dark? Ever get a flat tire in the dark? Hello? Ever get a flat tire in the dark? What will you do? Well, in the age that we live in, our insurance comes with a thing called roadside assistance. Chicky is my riding partner, so if I get a flat tire, I say, Chick, what we going to do? She say, well, you sit down here, I go fix it. Upon the highway, we get a flat tire. She said, you know you don't know to do nothing. You will confuse me. You stay in the car. I am going to change the tire. I say, you know what to do? She said, I'll figure it out. But you stay. You don't come out. You will create disturbance. She goes outside and in my conscience, I'm thinking, should I go or should I not go? Because I know she'll buff me. And then I say, you know what? Let me go. When I go outside, less than a minute after I go outside, she already recruited 2 people and she already changing the tire. On the highway, 2 people, no hand, they stop. And they change the tire for us. Joan actually is your product, Peppy. And he stops out of nowhere. And he said, Baba, why are you worrying? Where there is a will, there is a way. And he changed the tire. And the entire place is plunged into darkness. And so they're wondering, what has happened? What has happened? And just then Mother Lakshmi walks in. He annadane ki maharani, O Jai Lakshmi Rani. Tujhe gar gar pooje prani, O Jai Lakshmi Rani. महारानी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी तुझे घर घर पूजे प्राणी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी
अनधन की महारानी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी तुझे घर घर पूजे प्राणी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी।
ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। तभी मन महालक्ष्मी का प्रकट होते करने वाली, देख और पूर्णा का साथ उज्जवल का ज्ञान होते करने वाले, उन्होंने का देखते कि भगवान विष्णु का सिर दूरिया का सागर में तेराका करनी है, जिसमें महालक्ष्मी का प्रकृति देवता धारण के लेकिन साथ रहते हैं। मैं प्रश्न का हो गया पूछने रहते हैं। भगवान विष्णु अमर है श्री परमात्मने नमः। हे अन्न की महारानी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी, तुझे घर घर पूजे प्राणी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी।
हे अनधन की महारानी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी, तुझे घर घर पूजे प्राणी हो जय लक्ष्मी रानी।
Mother Lakshmi, who is the goddess of light, just then she walks in, and so the entire place is illumined once more. But now when they observed what has happened, major disaster. Major disaster. The string of the bow, released with so much of power, beheads Bhagwan Vishnu. His head is floating in the Milky Ocean, and his body is sitting there fixed. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they're frightened. They're not frightened because of what has happened to Lord Vishnu, but they're frightened about what the reaction of Mother Lakshmi is going to be. I want to tell you, and I'm going to tell you this with no apology. Never get in a husband and wife thing, You all know? The husband will tell the wife all kind of thing and puff up and insult her and humiliate her. And when they go home, they hug up and sleep normal. And you vex and carrying this baggage on your shoulder. You ain't hear how he talking to she, and you ain't see how he treating she, and you ain't see. And vice versa, wife tell the husband, she says, sit down here and don't move, Anybody the man talking to, she go and she say, you don't fed up talk. Why you hush him out? Just like that. And in your mind you say, but oh God, she really insulting the man. And when they go home, they're normal, and you still carrying the baggage, Next time you see him, you hide, because you know why? You're afraid of the reaction of the wife. True or not? You're afraid that the wife act up. So you begin to shun yourself away because you're afraid. Last night, after everybody left, then out of nowhere, I heard Ishwar's voice. Out of nowhere, I heard Ishwar's voice. So I opened the window and I said, Ishwar, is that you? He said, yes, I forgot something. I said, is everything okay? He said, no, Samantha talking off my head. She's quarreling with me. I said, why? He said, you know how wife is. He said, you know how wife is, I say, I don't know how wife is because me, I have none. I said, and now you see why? He looked at me and he smiled. He said, I'll go in before she quarreled. I said, but you just told me she quarreling already. So what's the difference? It will be a little more quarrel. And you see after I tell you tonight, well, Ishwar is licks tonight. Because I'm seeing her and her reaction. Ishwar, you're in trouble. She didn't know you tell me. I met her many times today and I didn't tell her anything. They look at Mother Lakshmi and they're afraid. And they're afraid of what the reaction of Mother Lakshmi is going to be. And when Mother Lakshmi sees what has happened, Mother Lakshmi begins to smile. And her reaction confuses them. Has something ever happened that you think will upset everybody around? And then when it happens, everybody smile and laugh and talk and they behave normal? They become accepting. I don't have to accept anything. You have to accept whatever, not me. We all have to deal with our own situations and our own acceptance, our own declining. We all have to be able to be intelligent to choose the right thing. And so, Bhagwan Vishnu, sitting there without a head, Lord Brahma looks at Mother Lakshmi and he says, oh Mother Lakshmi, are you not upset? Have you not seen what has happened to Lord Vishnu? Are you not upset? She says, why should I be upset? Lord Vishnu is Amar hai. Amar means that he can't die. He will not die. Amar hai means that he has been blessed with his immortality. So nothing could cause that to him. He will not die. Lord Brahma, shocked at the reaction of Mother Lakshmi, Lord Brahma immediately created the head of a horse and placed the head on the body of Bhagwan Vishnu. And so Lord Vishnu sprung to life. He opened his eyes and he looked at Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva and he says, tell me, you were talking and then I fell asleep and so I didn't hear the conversation, then tell me. And they say, oh Lord Vishnu, you must go now with this roop, with this form, and you must destroy these demons that Lord Brahma has blessed. He goes, and as he goes, he destroys the demon and peace is restored. And the Devatas now name this form of Lord Vishnu. They named his head, the horse head and the body of Lord Vishnu, this roop, this form, as Hayagriva. Hayagriva is the name that is given to this form of Bhagwan Vishnu. The demon that thought that he was clever and he will be given the status of being a Devata by training others and recruiting others to do his work for him, now begins to tremble. Because now, anytime he shows himself out, he knows that he's inferior because there is a being who is superior. Anytime you're inferior, you have to tread carefully because you know why? There are beings who are more superior than you. Do you know that? What makes you superior? Shana, what are the qualities that make you superior? What? There is something that we must have that will make us far more superior than anybody and anything. What is that? Something that many of us don't have. It's not a Prado. It's not that. It's not a big house. It's not that. It's not a swimming pool. It's not that. Actually, swimming pool is a real headache. Ask the people who have it and they will tell you. It's not clothes. It's not jewelry. It's something called humility. Humility makes you superior to any being. You must be able to have the qualities of humility that you can fit into any situation and be comfortable. And be comfortable. Every single person who is sitting around this altar, I go to everybody's home to do puja. Every single one of you. And I know when I come, what I could do, what I can't do, where I could sit, what I could eat, where the fridge is, where the toilet is. I know everything. I don't wait for you to tell me, well, look the bathroom there. Actually, you might be looking for me and I already used the bathroom. Actually, you might be coming to tell me, well, the food ready, and you might see me already take out the plate from the cupboard and eating already. True or not? Because your humility permits you to fit into any situation, anywhere, anytime. And whether what the situation around is, it does not affect you. Because your duty is to accept and to fit in. Humility. Humility is the doorway to mukti. Humility is the doorway to mukti. What is mukti again? The Ramayana says. Goswami Tulsidas Ji says in the Ramayana. You know what he says? Mangala Bhavanaya Mangala Hari Grabha Usuda Sarata Ajirabi Ari Jai Ram Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Bari Bhagya Manusha Tanu Pava Sudha Dudalabha Savagram Tanatava Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. The Ramayana says that of all the creations that God has created, Bare Bhagya, He has blessed us with a human existence. And He has given us the human existence because of the punyam, because of the good merits that we have accumulated in our past existences. And so, it has afforded us the opportunity to enjoy the human body. What we do it on the human body is our gift to God. God's gift to us is the human body. But what we use the human body to do is our gift back to God. But it doesn't mean that you have to be foolish. It doesn't mean that you have to accept everything and anything. A beautiful creature, the porcupine. Have you ever seen the porcupine? The porcupine is beautiful, isn't it? Have you ever seen? Google porcupine tonight. When the porcupine doesn't feel threatened, the porcupine behaves normal, isn't it? Graceful, elegant, beautiful to look at. But the minute a threat comes, what happens? What happens? You know what? You have to prepare. For what? The Ramayana says, Sadhan Dham Moksha Kar Dwara Pai Na Jehi Paralok Savara Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Mangala Bhavanaya Mangala Hari Prabhu Sudha Sarata Ajidati. Sing with me, everybody. Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Sadhana Dhamma Moksha Kara Dwara. God has blessed us with a human existence so that we can plan for mukti, salvation. You're busy building a comfortable life for your body, isn't it? You want a nice bed so you could sleep comfortably. You want a nice bathroom so you could shower and practice hygiene. You want a nice chair so you could sit and recline with electric. You want a massaging chair so you could have circulation in the blood, isn't it? You want to wear magnetic slippers so that there will be no varicose veins anywhere. And you're doing all sorts of things to bring comfort to the body. But what have you done to bring comfort to your soul when you will die? What have you done? Bhagwan Krishna says, Dev said to me, he said, you're not reading the right thing, man. I said, what should I read? He said, well, I want you to tell me what the book says. I want you to tell me about what the book says about existence. Tell me about existence. This is what I want to know. But he didn't ask me that one time. He didn't ask me that today. He asked me that last year, the year before that, the year before that. Every time some come over him, he will ask me. I don't know if it's when he is in trouble. I don't know if it's when somebody is giving him trouble. I don't know when. But he asks all the time, continuously. And he must have asked me that like 5 times before. The human existence was given to us not to only eat, drink, make merry, and when dead, bury, but to plan, to prepare for when death will come. The only certain thing about life is that we will die. Did you all give thought to that? Have you all given thought to that? It is the only certain thing about life. Your clock home might come with an indicator of when the battery will go dead. Some utensil at home that operates with a battery, or something you all know real good, your phone, comes with a battery, and you could tell how much percent it has, isn't it? And you know when to go and plug it in and when to charge it, otherwise it will go dead. Am I using the right words? The phone will go dead, isn't it? How you know when you will go dead? To plug in some kind of comfort, some kind of bhakti into your atma, your soul, so that when you exit, the nice bed that gave comfort to your body is not the bed your soul will sleep on, isn't it? The nice bathroom your body bathed in is not the bathroom your soul will bathe in. So what have you secured for your atma, your soul? We're existing physically, but the time will come when physical existence will come to an end. What have we done to prepare our souls? The Ganesh Utsav Foundation has embarked on the Bhagwat Yagna. Why? so that we can all prepare our souls for mukti, for salvation, for when death will come. This is one of the ways. This is one of the ways. And scripture says to us, Goswami Tulsidas ji writes, you know what he says? Listen to what he says. Binu sat sanga vivekan hoi, Ram kripa binu suraban soi. Jai Ram Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. How can we prepare place for our soul? By keeping the company of satsang, keeping the company of those who are truthful. Even if you are in the company of people who tell a lie and they little fast and out of place and try to mind your business and want to know about you, you have the power, you have the shakti, you have the energy in you, you have the aura to convert that negative energy into something by the way you choose to react. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? We live our whole lives jealous and envy, vexed. Somebody else has something, you're angry, jealous. Anything you see, you want one of that too. Actually, you want two of that. There's a joke, you know. A man was praying a prayer and he says, God, anything you bless my neighbor with, I want two. So the neighbor got a house, he got two. The neighbor got a car, he got two. The neighbor got a wife, he get two. The neighbor lost a leg, he lost two. The neighbor went blind in one eye, he get blind in two. Because you see, when we live our lives as a competition, then there is no enjoyment. Do you know that? There is no room for enjoyment when you're in a competition. If you know anything about me, I want to tell you about me, just in case you didn't know. Anytime I realize you're competing with me, I drop out the race. I run from the race. I am not competing with anybody. If you see me and you see that I have something, it is for comfort or it is necessary. If it is not necessary, then you will not see me with it. Then you will ask, you say, well, you're wearing a bearer. What is the necessity in this? You know what's the necessity in this? Auntie Sita bought this for me. And she bought it for my birthday 6 years ago. But you know, every time my birthday comes, she goes up close to the television and she's watching. She wants to make sure that you're wearing it. And if you don't wear it, she thinks that you don't like her. This is necessary to make Auntie Sita happy. Because it's a gift, a token that she has given. It doesn't mean that I am not happy wearing it. But the joy that she will experience by seeing me using what she has given makes me happy too. But Bhagya, having the human existence, we must plan for when that will come. Existence is not only to sit down and pray whole day and take a mala and chant Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya. Because there is a time and a place for everything. And only when you are permitted by God, by Bhagwan, because of your merits, you'll be afforded the opportunity to bask and enjoy devotion and bhakti and thing, you know that? Bhagwan Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, you know what he says? Live in the world, but do not become of the world. Live in the world, but don't become of the world. And he says it is important to have, it is important to enjoy, but what is very important is to wake up and recognize that you do not become a slave to the things of the world, because a day will come that the things you have slaved for, it has prevented you from enjoying existence, and then you die and leave everything behind. You know that? You're working day and night to save. You saving her, and then your daughter get married to some boy you didn't like, and he in Hawaii, and you in a hole. You in a 6x4, not a 4x4, you know, a 6x4. That's the size of the grave. A few days ago, Swami and we went up. I didn't tell him it's a funeral because he will not want to go. A burial. And we go to the burial, and the man has some sisters who wasn't talking to him, but they decided to come to the burial ground. And they're burying him in the family's plot where his mother was buried. And the grave digger makes an announcement to the family that he has found the box of the mother, so they can't go deeper. So the sisters who don't talk to the brother, they appear and they go by the hole, the graveside, to see the mother's box, as though they could see her down in there now. And when they go, something happens. I don't know what happened, and all three of them fall inside of there. I am hearing the screaming. I'm hearing the cries. I'm hearing. But in my mind, I'm saying that somebody is crying for the dead man. Eh? In a funeral, that's what happens, you know. You hear crying and screaming and bawling, and that's what you hear. So I'm thinking this is a part of the... I'm not sure what package they took from the funeral home. I am not sure if they took the screaming and bawling and falling and rolling in the grave package. I don't know. I have no clue. And you know, he went with me to the funeral, and he's now knowing this because you know why? The coward stood in the van and he never came out. So I would have had a company to laugh with, you know. When we go to the grave now and we put the box, when I look down, I see three of them inside of there. And they look at me and they say, Baba, we almost dead in here. And in my mind I say, well, in the right place. Huh? You're in the right place. And then the daughter comes to me and she says, you know, they never talked to my father for more than 40 years. Huh? They're upset with him. I say, look at thing, and then gone in the grave before he. Huh? They in the grave before he. And the grave digger now takes the shovel and he's saying to them, hold on to the back of the shovel, let me pull you up. And he's dragging them, coming up. And the lady said, don't nasty up my dress. Huh? You're down in a hole and you're thinking about dress. The point is that we think of the things that are unnecessary. We think of the things that we will die and leave behind, and we place so much of emphasis and pride on these things. And a day will come when those things will be of no use to you. Do you know? No use. Put on your nice clothes, you know. Stand up in your bathroom and take a selfie by the mirror. You'll see how they do it. Go on TikTok. You'll see. Pandit Neil know how to do it. I saw it on his profile. You wouldn't catch me taking no picture in the toilet, huh? Because the toilet is for different business, not picture and phone and camera and thing. I go there and I want to spend minimum time inside of there. The phone is at the disturbance, huh? So I am not carrying any phone and thing inside of there. The things that we place emphasis on are not the important things. But the thing that we have forgotten to place emphasis on is the important thing. And the only way we'll ever enjoy existence is when we learn to recognize what is important and what is. Things of the world, they're important to gratify or to sustain or to bring comfort or to bring some level of peace to the body. But none of those things will bring peace, comfort to the soul. Always remember that. So existence was given to us so that while we enjoy physical comfort, we create some kind of spiritual comfort for our soul for when death will come. Bhagwan Vishnu has taken the roop of Hayagriv. And so taking this roop of Hayagriv can be found in not only the Murti of Lord Vishnu, but Hayagriv can be found, the roop of Hayagriv can be found in that Panchveer. The Panchveer meaning the five-headed form of Lord Hanuman. One of the heads is that of the head of a horse. When you look at the five heads of Lord Hanuman, you look at these five heads. Are they five physical heads? Are they five literal heads? What are they? These five heads of Lord Hanuman, they're geared at teaching us about the five qualities that we have in the body. For once we have these qualities under control, then life becomes smooth sailing and peaceful. Lord Hanuman has the head of a monkey. Have you ever seen? At some point in our lives, somebody would have said to us, you behave like a real monkey boy. Stop laughing like a monkey. True or not? He has the head of a horse. At some point in our life, somebody would have said to us, stop running like a... Only I run like a horse? But that's when I was younger. One of the hands of Lord Hanuman is that of a vulture. Somebody said to you, stop eating so much. Huh? You're overeating, isn't it? Because the vulture eats with no discrimination. It will eat anything, living or dead. Like some of you, living or dead. One of the head is that of the boa or the hog. At some point in our life, somebody look at you and say, you behave like a real hog boy. Isn't it? Isn't it? These heads again are teaching us that we must have these qualities under control. And anytime you allow these qualities to control you, then you're in trouble. It's the most powerful form of Lord Hanuman. Lord Hanuman obtained those heads because every one of those forms or every one of those heads, they're depictive of a roop or a form of Bhagwan Vishnu. Did you know that? Did you know this? They're all depictive of the roop or the manifestations of Lord Vishnu. Let us offer water around the fire as we make oblations into the fire. Om Sarvatirta Samayuktam Sugandhim Nirmalam Jalam Ajpanamya Datta Grihana Parameshwara Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Bhurva Swatat Saviturvarinam Bhargo Devasya Dhimi Vyo Yona Prachoryat Swaha Idam Gatridam Namama Om Bhurva Swatat Saviturvarinam Bhargo Devasya Dhimi Vyo Yona Prachoryat Swaha Idam Gatridam Namama Om Bhurva Swatat Saviturvarinam Bhargo Devasya Dhimi Vyo Yona Prachoryat Swaha Idam Gatridam Nama Om Prajapataye Namah Om Gam Ganapataye Namah Om Indra Namah Om Dharati Gauri Mata Namah Om Kalasvarun Devta Namah Om Ishta Devta Namah Om Gram Devta Namah Om Sthana Devta Namah Om Dastikpal Devta Namah Om Suryadi Nogra Devta Namah Om Bhum Om Bhva Om Jana Om Tapa Om Satyam Om Bhargo Devasya Dhimi Vyo Yona Prachoryat Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namah Om Hari Markat Markata Namah Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Om Trambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana Prityor Mokshamamrita Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha Achman Om Sarvatirta Samayuktam Sugandhim Nirmalam Jalam Ajvanamya Datta Grihana Parameshwara Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We find the smoke of the fire. Om Vanaspatara Surabhuto Gandharyo Ganaduttamagre Sarvadivanam Dhupoyam Prate Gretam. We stretch our hands as we bow to the fire. Om Manalanama, Om Manalanama, Om Manalanama. We want to remind you that this brings us to the end of the night's devotion. But tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we will commence again. And then at 2 o'clock. And then in the evening again from 7 to 9. You're invited to come and join with us. You're invited to bring somebody. On Thursday, we celebrate a public holiday. You're invited to come. Come and spend the entire day with us. Meals are provided for you. There's comfort and luxury here. And so come. Let us all sit and listen to the glories of Bhagwan, and let us take a spiritual divine bath, a bath in the Holy Bhagwat, the words of Bhagwan. And so let us prepare our souls for that time when death will come by listening and purifying ourselves through listening to the Katha of Bhagwan Vishnu. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Let us all stand as we join in the Aarti. Shubham karotu kalyanam arogyam sukasam param mama shatru vinashaya deepa jyotir namostute deepa jyotir namostute mukam karoti vachalam pangulam vete girim yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govinda Namo Namah. Bhagwat Aarti. जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये अमर गंतये मुक्ति पंतये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही
जग की मंगल की आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये शांति दीप पावन पुनीत पापों मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
ये शांति दीप पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला
ये सुख करनी ये दुख हरनी
ये सुख करनी ये दुख हरनी
ये मधुसूदन की आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
ये मधुर बोल जग पंत कोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ू को बनाने वाला
ये मधुर बोल जग पंथ को सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़े को बनाने वाला
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही
सबकी महिमा की आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती
पापियों को पाप से है तारती
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवतम
चित चोदा यशोदा की बाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल
चित चोरा यशोदा की बाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल
चित चोदा यशोदा की बाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल
चित चोरा यशोदा की बाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय 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 गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला।
चित छोटा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोरे गोपाल,
चित छोटा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोरे गोपाल।
चित छोटा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोरे गोपाल,
चित छोटा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोरे गोपाल।
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे गोपी गोपी बाला, गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे मुरली ज्ञान लोला,
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे गोपी गोपी बाला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे, हे मुरली ज्ञान लोला।
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला,
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला, गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला,
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला, गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला, गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला,
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला, गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला,
गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन, यत्पूजितं या देव परिपूर्णं तरस्तमे। त्वमेव माता सविता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धो शशिका त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम शांति ओम शांति
ओम शांति ओम शांति
ओम शांति ओम शांति पृथ्वी शांति, आपा शांति, ओषधि शांति, वनस्पति शांति, विश्वदेवा शांति, ब्रह्मा शांति, सर्वं शांति, शांतिरेवा शांति सामा शांतिरिति भवतु। उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, अयोध्या राम लला की जय, वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, पूरे सा जगन्नाथ की जय। बोलो में सब संतनी की जय, सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। शरणम सीताराम 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 कहिए,
चाहे बिन राखे राम।
काहे बिधि रखे रामा काहे बिधि रहे
सीताराम 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 सीताराम
वृंदावन विहर लाल की आसन पर बैठे। Let us all please be seated.